In 1984, a machine came back from the future and changed cinema forever. The Terminator launched legends, broke hearts, and created one of the most beloved casts in Hollywood history. Let's find out exactly where every single one of them is today in 2026. Number 1, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played the Terminator, the T-800. Arnold was 37 when he stepped into the role of the relentless cyborg assassin sent back from the future to destroy humanity. Now, in 2026, Arnold is 78. Still acting, and still the most recognizable action star on Earth. He starred in the Netflix series Fubar and has a new film called Breakout in development. In March 2024, he had a pacemaker surgically implanted and told his fans he had become, quote, a little bit more of a machine. And his secret son, Joseph Biehn, born from a relationship that ended his 25-year marriage to Maria Shriver, is now 28 and looks almost exactly like a young Arnold. The Terminator truly never stops. Coming in at number 2 is someone who is going to absolutely floor you, Bill Paxton, who played the punk leader. Bill was just 29 when he played the leather-jacketed tough guy who mouths off at the Terminator in the opening alley scene. His character lasts maybe 2 minutes on screen, but that 2-minute death launched one of Hollywood's most beloved careers, from Aliens to Apollo 13 to Twister to Titanic to HBO's Big Love. He and Lance Henriksen remain the only 2 actors ever killed on screen by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien. Tragically, Bill passed away in February 2017 at just 61 after complications from heart surgery, leaving his wife, Louise, and their 2 children. For number 3, we have Linda Hamilton, who played Sarah Connor. Linda was 28 when she took on the role of the ordinary LA waitress who learns she is destined to shape the future of humanity. Now, in 2026, Linda is 69, and her real life has been every bit as dramatic as the films. She married and later divorced director James Cameron, has spoken openly about her lifelong battle with bipolar disorder, and in 2020, she lost her twin sister Leslie, who had actually doubled for her in T2's famous mirror scene. In April 2024, Linda said goodbye to Sarah Connor for good. She gave us one of the great action characters of all time, and her full story is just as remarkable. At number 4, we have Michael Biehn, who played Kyle Reese. Michael was 28 when he stepped into the role of the scarred soldier from 2029, sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor. Now, in 2026, Michael is 69, and after nearly 2 decades largely outside the Hollywood mainstream, he is staging a genuine comeback. He has joined the cast of Onslaught, a new A24 action thriller directed by Adam Wingard, marking his biggest studio return in over 20 years. He has spoken openly about past struggles with alcohol and about feeling overlooked, despite his central role in the franchise. Kyle Reese died in 1984, but Michael Biehn, he is still fighting. Number 5 takes us to Terminator 2, where we find Edward Furlong, who played young John Connor. Edward was just 13 when he stepped into the role of the rebellious kid who teams up with a reprogrammed T-800 to save the future. His work in T2 launched a stunning career, including American History X, widely praised as one of the finest performances of the entire 90s. But the road since has been genuinely difficult. Edward has spoken openly about serious battles with addiction and legal troubles. Now 48, he supports himself through convention appearances and independent film work, and he attended a fan event just this past March. He is still here, still fighting, and that matters. At number 6, from Terminator 2, we have Robert Patrick, who played the T-1000. Robert was 32 when he stepped into the role of the liquid metal Terminator, one of the most terrifying villains ever put on film. Now, in 2026, Robert is 67 and still going strong. After T2, he reinvented himself as FBI agent Doggett on The X-Files then landed memorable roles in Walk the Line, Peacemaker, and The Dropout. He has been married to Barbara Patrick since 1990, over 35 years together, and is a devoted father of 4. The scariest Terminator of all time turns out to be the warmest man in the room. Number 7, we have Lance Henriksen, who played Detective Hal Vukovich. Lance was 44 when he stepped into the role of the steadfast LAPD detective, who ultimately cannot stop the machine. Now, in 2026, Lance is 85 and still actively making films. Here is the part almost no one talks about. James Cameron originally planned for Lance to play the Terminator, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. He even painted the robot using Lance's face. And Lance's personal story is extraordinary. He grew up homeless, dropped out of school after first grade, and did not learn to read until he was 30, teaching himself through film scripts. Over 250 credits later, he remains one of Hollywood's greatest survivors. Moving to number 8, we have Paul Winfield, who played Lieutenant Ed Traxler. Paul was 45 when he stepped into the role of the gruff but loyal LAPD lieutenant who gives his life protecting Sarah Connor. Before The Terminator, Paul had already earned an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for the 1972 film Sounder, one of the earliest Black American actors to receive that honor in a leading role. He later starred in Star Trek II, Babylon 5, and a celebrated television career. Paul passed away in March 2004 at 64, just 2 years after losing his devoted partner of 30 years. They are buried together. He was far more than a face in a Terminator movie. For number 9, we have Earl Boen, who played Dr. Peter Silberman. Earl was about 43 when he stepped into the role of the smug criminal psychologist who dismisses Kyle Reese's warnings as a paranoid delusion. Spoiler, he was spectacularly wrong. He reprised Silberman in T2 and T3, spanning nearly 20 years in the franchise. Beyond the films, Earl was beloved in the voice acting world as the villain LeChuck in the Monkey Island game series, working until his very final months. Sadly, Earl passed away on January 6, 2023, at 81, just weeks after a lung cancer diagnosis. His Silberman once bragged he could build a whole career from one interview with Kyle Reese. As it turned out, he truly did. Number 10, we have Franco Columbu, who played a future Terminator in the film's opening war sequence. Franco was 43 at the time, and though his screen time was brief, his connection to this story runs deeper than almost anyone else's. Franco was Arnold Schwarzenegger's closest friend for 54 years, having first met in Munich back in 1965. A 2-time Mr. Olympia champion and one of the strongest athletes who ever competed, Franco was also a licensed chiropractor and the author of multiple fitness books. Tragically, he passed away in August 2019 at 78, after drowning while swimming off the coast of his native Sardinia. Arnold's tribute was simple and heartfelt. "I love you, Franco. I will always remember the joy you brought to my life." At number 11, we have Dick Miller, who played the pawn shop clerk. Dick was 55 when he played the cheerful gun store owner who sells the Terminator a full weapons cache and delivers the line, "You know your weapons, buddy." Over more than 180 films, Dick became one of Hollywood's most beloved character actors, a Roger Corman discovery who appeared in every single film directed by Joe Dante, from Gremlins to The Howling. He was married to his wife Lainey for over 60 years. Dick passed away peacefully on January 30, 2019, at 90, surrounded by family. A true original who never had a bad scene. Number 12, we have Rick Rossovich, who played Matt Buchanan. Rick was 27 when he took on the role of Ginger's easygoing boyfriend, the guy who answers the door at exactly the wrong moment. After The Terminator, he landed some of the decade's most memorable roles: Slider in Top Gun alongside Tom Cruise, Chris in Roxanne with Steve Martin, and the doctor who left Nurse Hathaway at the altar on ER. By the early 2000s, Rick had stepped away from the spotlight, and today he lives quietly in Ojai, California, with his wife Eva and their 2 grown children, splitting the year between California and Sweden. The 80s heartthrob chose a peaceful life, and honestly, that sounds wonderful. Number 13, we have Bess Mata, who played Ginger Ventura. Bess was 27 when she played Sarah Connor's fun-loving roommate, the one who has her headphones in at the absolute worst possible moment. After the film, Bess became a real force in the 1980s fitness world, producing and hosting aerobics video series that were hugely popular during the decade's workout craze. She made occasional TV appearances, but kept a very low public profile over the years. Now 69, Bess remains largely out of the spotlight, a reminder that some people genuinely prefer a life away from the cameras. She brought real warmth to this film, and we truly hope she is doing wonderfully. For number 14, we have Brian Thompson, who played Punk number 2, the one who loses his jacket directly to the Terminator in that famous opening alley scene. Brian was 25 at the time, and that brief moment launched a genuine genre career. Standing 6'4" with one of the most naturally imposing faces in Hollywood, Brian went on to become the alien bounty hunter across multiple seasons of The X-Files and also appeared in Cobra with Stallone, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Mortal Kombat: Annihilation. Now 66, Brian may not be the first name you think of, but show anyone his picture and they will recognize him immediately. That jacket started something real. And to close things out, number 15, we have Shawn Sheps, who played Nancy. Shawn was around 23 when she played Sarah Connor's co-worker at Big Jeff's Diner, the one who first warns Sarah about the murders happening across the city. It is a small role, but what came next is genuinely surprising. Shawn stepped away from acting and became a screenwriter, crafting the script for Encino Man in 1992, the beloved Brendan Fraser comedy that became a genuine hit. She followed it up with Son-in-Law in 1993. The diner waitress who warned Sarah Connor about her fate went on to help Encino Man find his. If that is not a full circle moment, we do not know what is. This cast gave us one of the greatest films ever made, and as you can see, their stories off-screen are just as extraordinary. Which cast member surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments below, and subscribe if you want more Then and Now videos just like this one.